here to dig deeper into Premier François Legault's announcement that he's stepping down as Premier but staying on until a new CAQ leader is chosen is political analyst Daniel Tran. Daniel, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously this big announcement coming this morning, were you surprised?
We had some hints going on, for instance, because normally in January is the moment that's in the National Assembly is in pause. People are taking time off. However, we heard rumors that people were being summoned back as of this week. So we were having hints that things were going on, but to be expected, of course. It's still a big news, and what we can say is that Premier Legault definitely left his mark. What we're hearing in the background is that a lot of people are very sad today. It is a sad day for a lot of members of the CAQ. A lot of people have a lot of emotions right now, so that's the feedback that we're receiving.
Now, again, Legault for months saying that he is not going anywhere. But now, the first press conference that he's calling, he's saying that he's stepping down. Do you think that Legault had no choice in doing this?
Politically, he had to. He couldn't announce right before the holidays leaving or like even hesitating, because at the moment of the Christmas holidays, this is where like conversations happen. Family gather around, there's joys, but it's also a moment for gossip to think about the future, right? Now, that being said, Premier Legault at this moment today announced that he will not be representing himself and he's stepping down. A lot of people are disappointed. What we can remember as Premier Legault, for Premier Legault, no matter what the political allegiance that you have, is that he's somebody who's really determined, that he wanted the best for all Quebecers, and he really loved his province. So that's what we're hearing today.
And I guess on that note, in general, what is Premier Legault's legacy in Quebec?
Well, we have to remember, right, because initially, before it became the CAQ, it was initially the ADQ under Mario Dumont, then became the CAQ. So Premier Legault was almost like the founder and the one that created this new movement, instead of having that bilateral choices, whether it was the PLQ or the Parti Québécois, right? Now, that being said, there was a lot of milestones during his mandate. We can think about the management during the COVID situation. It was very emotional, but also a lot of things to manage because we were in crisis. And then at those were the positive things. There were also some things that will stain his mandate. Of course, we can think about what happened, for example, with the Northvolt situation. There's a lot of things that he tried to, as a last resort, during the last moment in his mandate. We think about the combat with the physicians, for example, with the unions at the same time. So I think that was a Hail Mary at that moment to see if it sticks, if it could swing the electoral needle. But that being said, despite all this effort, we have to come to this conclusion today.
Now, a premier stepping down during an election year, there's going to be an election in October in Quebec. Who benefits from this stepping down when it comes to the other parties?
At this moment, I would say the benefit goes a bit everywhere, and let me explain you. So obviously at this moment, for the Parti Québécois, they have a strong leader, Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, that we know where we stand for. He's been like fighting, getting more and more momentum with more deputies elected at the National Assembly. So clearly that's a great advantage for him, right? That being said, the Liberal Party of Quebec right now have also a leadership race after Pablo Rodriguez stepping down. We have two names at the moment, but based on what we're seeing today, it's most likely going to be Charles Milliard for his background, for all the people he's been rallying behind.
And do you think that with Premier Legault stepping down, it guarantees the CAQ some aspect of survival in this upcoming election?
There's one thing that's sure in election, is that there's nothing ever guaranteed. Now, that being said, one day in election year is an eternity. So a lot of things could happen, scandals could arise, so we'll see.
And as you mentioned before, there will be a leadership race to replace François Legault. Who are the big names that stick out to you, and who can you see actually replacing Mr. Legault himself?
At this moment, we have to be careful because it's only speculation. Internally, we heard of, for example, Geneviève Guilbeault, who have municipal affairs, who was also at the Ministry of Transport. We also heard other names, for example, Simon Jolin Barrette. However, one name that keeps coming back, and my analysis is that it's more of a wishful thinking rather than a reality coming, is Mario Dumont. Mario Dumont, who was the founder of the ADQ before it became the CAQ. However, he's like a newscast. He's in the news. He's like very present, and he's able to interview many people. So from what I'm hearing internally, there's not a lot of chance for that, but people can put wish lists, of course.
Daniel, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Thank you for joining me once again.
Thank you for having me.